All right. Hey, everybody. David, thank you so much. It's always quite amazing to be here. I love presenting with you guys. So, recently I've gone through some massive changes and went and just, I've been doing this for a long time. And you guys will, if you don't know who I am, my name's Casey Stubbs, and I'm going to talk a little bit about myself today too, but I went through some major changes and adjusted my strategy. And wow, the results that we've had since we made this switch has been really good. And the cool thing is, we went through a huge bear market at the beginning of the year, and we were one of the few people that was really doing well. And now that the markets are really running, we're continuing to do well. So that's really excited, and I'm just gonna share all that. So let me just jump right in. All right. So how I replace my paycheck with options and why you can too. Now, look, you're not broke because of the market. You are broke because you're still relying on your paycheck, right? It's the system just doesn't work for getting ahead, right? The shift that no one talks about, weekly income built from skill that's not tied to a job. Are you ready to learn how? I'm going to show you in just a minute on how we do this week in and week out consistent income. Now, before we get started, disclaimer, trading options involves risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results. Just so that you're aware of that, uh, you know, there's no such thing as a perfect strategy. Whatever you do, you have to learn how to do it well. And, on my YouTube channel, I'm going off script because I do that sometimes. On my YouTube channel, I was sharing this morning. Oh, and I actually switched slides and I didn't even do it right. Okay, let's do this. There we go. There's the disclaimer. All right. This morning, I did a YouTube video and I was just sharing the power of understanding an opportunity that's right in front of your eyes versus always looking for a big opportunity. I think for me, the biggest problem that I had was that I was always looking for the next really big opportunity. Okay. And for me, it was always right in front of me rather than slowly improving every single day. The one thing that I was doing, I was always looking for the next thing. And when I had that transformation of understanding that I was already working in the thing that was going to make me break free and just work on that one thing and then get these blinders and close my eyes to all the other opportunities and just make my one opportunity the great opportunity, that's when I really had the big transformation. And I'm just sharing that because I thought that was important. It's not even in the training. So, anyways, the markets, man, they've moved on. They've rolled up and gone up. Have you? Wall Street's winning again, S&P's up, tech is rallying, and options premiums, which is what we do, is crushing it. But most people, I don't know where you stand right now, even if the market's flying, but you're just trying to recover from the bear market. We were actually making money in the bear market, but most people, they're still stuck. And it's not because of the economy, but it's because they're trapped in a job that pays just enough to survive. The paycheck is the trap. It's designed to keep you comfortable enough to stay quiet and scared enough to never leave. Now, I want to say something about being stuck. I have been stuck in my life, and it's one of the worst things ever. It is so bad. I hated it. And you know what? I still get stuck. But when I get stuck, I reach out. It's been so bad in my life at times. And one of the things is I've gone through a lot of challenges and problems and struggles and pains, which I'm really thankful for because that's taught me some amazing skill sets on how to get unstuck, right? And one of the biggest things that I learned was if you're stuck in quicksand, you're not going to get out on your own. You got to be willing to humble yourself and ask for help, right? If in a quicksand situation, if there's nobody around, well, then you got to figure it out on your own. But there are people in our lives that we can reach out to. especially now with the power of social media. There are people that we can reach out to, right? And if you don't reach out and have somebody throw you a rope, you will get stuck in the quicksand and you will drown and you will die, right? And I've been in the past, I've been in such situations that I'm like, I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to bother somebody. My problems are too bad. I don't want to be a downer. There's all these reasons why I don't want to ask for help. However, my situations were so bad that I had to, right? And I'm so glad of it because now I immediately go do it rather than waiting. And so the paycheck is the trap, right? It's designed to keep you comfortable enough to stay quiet, but scared enough to never leave. Your employers love it that they have you trapped. The strategy I'm about to reveal has helped thousands of traders replace their income. So, what if your income came from skill instead of from a salary? Stick with me, and I'm going to show you how we build weekly income without gambling or guessing. Whether you're a student, working a job, or retired, the daily grind has people trapped and they cannot escape. The real problem isn't the market, right? The problem is that you're stuck, right? You feel like there's got to be a better way, and you're still depending on your paycheck. So you're not alone. 61% of people statistically are living paycheck to paycheck. 70% are feeling disengaged at work. And a lot of them have no financial safety net. And I will also say retirees are in a bad situation as well. If you're retired and you're just relying on retirement income, you need a second income. And this is exactly why I built the Freedom Income Engine because I know what it's like to feel stuck. But what if you could stop relying on a job and replace your paycheck in just 1 hour per week? I'll show you how I've done this and how you can do it too with the Freedom Income Engine. This past Monday, all of our members got together and we took this trade together. Right. This is a 6% winner on TSLL or $1,120. We had a breakout, we do technical analysis, and we sell an option and we collect the premium. That's how we do it. And this one was extremely juicy. I try to target 1% a week, but sometimes I find a gold mine like this and do 6%. And we did 6% 2 weeks in a row. It's been pretty phenomenal. And it's again without spending all day staring at charts or taking huge risks. The one thing about this is we take this trade on Monday and then we're done, right? We look at it just to kind of make sure that everything's going good, but we don't do anything all week long. That's the amazing thing. So it's without spending all day staring at charts or taking huge risks. Here was a trade we did recently on MasterCard. This was one of the people that I'm working with, and it's Simon. So thankful that he posted it. And Simon's a really successful guy, and so I'm getting people that have a small amount of income, and then I've got really successful people. I was just talking with Simon this week, and since we've been working together, he's made $25,000. So he's pretty happy, but he says, gotta love it. Sold MA, went to dinner with my wife, back to desk, closed the trade at $1,255 net profits. So that's not just a weekly money. That's what he made in a span of a couple hours of enjoying a dinner. So pretty sweet. So now I want to share with you a little bit about me and the beginning on how I got started. This was me in 1999. I was in the military, and I share this story for a couple reasons. Number one is because I want you to know how dumb I was and how anyone can do this, and how I had no money, I had no experience, and I didn't even have a good internet connection because we didn't have internet. We didn't even have cell phones. We didn't have anything. The only way I could communicate was with a satellite phone. And I would get on the satellite phone and I would call my broker, which was E-Trade, and I would make investments once a month. Now, back then, I was only making $200 a week, and that's just no money at all. But I was in the Army for 4 years, and what I realized was that I was able to pick some good stocks, but also I was able to end up with over $30,000 by the time I got out of the Army. It was a 4 year time, and I had accumulated 30 some thousand dollars with just making $200 a week. That's low income. That's all I made. That's like what was deposited in my account, $200 a week, 800 a month. That's nothing, right? And I was able to get 30,000 in 4 years. So if I could do it, you can do it. However, disaster struck, and I ended up losing everything, which is pretty common, I think, for a 23-year-old. But then I started over, right? And then I lost everything again. And I lost everything twice. But the second time, I stopped blaming the market and I started building a system. And so let me ask you something. If you stop tomorrow, do you have a backup plan? If not, it's time to take control because this crash is a warning. This bull market right now is in fire, and most people are missing it. Stocks are exploding, premiums are rich, volatility's dropping. Every signal says one thing: opportunity. No one is coming to save your income. You are going to have to take action and develop a skill. And that's why I built the Freedom Income Engine so you can make 1% weekly no matter what the market's doing. So you're going to learn today how to generate steady weekly income with 1 hour a week from high probability trades. The exact pattern we look for each week to stack 1% gains, and how to sell puts in a bear market, which also in a bull market, which is what we're out right now, even if you don't have a $25,000 account. So we're going to give you step-by-step process, consistent methodology, what it really takes to replace your income with options, and how to flatten the learning curve and get profitable faster. So we built this around what you have told us, that because I take surveys literally nonstop, because it's kind of like what I said earlier when I said I have one thing right now, and I'm making that one thing better and better and better and better. That's it. I'm not doing anything else. I'm only doing one thing. And how do I make it better? I get feedback from you. I read that feedback every single week, and I make my system better. Not just my system, but also how I teach it. Every single week is getting better and better. And so our goal is to minimize losses and maximize gains. And our freedom options income traders have a secret, and that's we're not trying to time the market. We are trying to replace our income with weekly gains. Simple 1% options selling to make 1% per week on stocks that we want to own. This isn't for traders, it's for regular people just like you. What if you could replace your paycheck with options trading? Not by guessing, not by gambling, but by following a simple, repeatable process. Here's one of the patterns. When I said I was going to teach you exactly what it is that we look for, I'm going to run through that here. This is me delivering on what I said we were going to do. So we're looking for number one here. We're looking for a support level, right? We look for that. Okay. And then this, so that's number one. Number two, we look for a trend. Okay. Number two is a trend. Number three, we look for quality, right? Quality companies, right? So we know that if we have one, two, and three, and I'm so sorry for that scribble, it's so ugly. But we know that if we have one, two, and three, that equals it's. I have a couple formulas in my life, and that's one of them. It equals high probability, right? And this is one of the foundations that I've built my life on, and that is this. When you have when you have a company or an industry, you want to always find the best of the best. That's where this comes in, right? Because I know that if these three happens, these are the best setups, and I'm looking for quality for the best companies. If we look at anything, you look at stocks, right? Or you look at AI. What's the best AI stock? A lot of people will tell you it's Nvidia, right? So why would I trade anything else? What's the best tech stock? What's the best electric vehicle stock? It's Tesla. I want to always trade the best of the best. Compared to a sports analogy, if you're a sports fan, who's the best at the sport? That's who we're going to invest in. Usually there's one person that's head and shoulders above the rest, one team that's above the rest, or maybe a couple people, right? If you do that every time, you're going to be successful. So what we do is we find high probability trades and we sell options. We don't buy them, we sell them, right? That are very high probability, and we do it week in and week out. And if we end up being wrong, we're still don't make money. We still don't lose money. We make money whether we're wrong or whether we're right. That's the thing. We always, always, always keep the premium that we sell. It's just like if you sell a car. Once you sell that car, you get to keep the money, right? That's just the way that it is. So we always keep our money and we always make money. All right. So I call this the freedom income engine. And so I'm on a mission to see 100,000 traders replace their income with options. And my name is Casey Stubbs, and I've been trading the market for 30 years. And in that time, I discovered the path to financial freedom. I've been training traders for the last 15 years. However, I was making a crucial mistake. So I shared with you one of the crucial mistakes I was making earlier, and that is that I was always looking for another opportunity. Always, 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 rather than working on the one opportunity that I had right in front of me. So that was one mistake, but now you're going to see my second mistake, and that is that I kept thinking making things complicated, right? I just made it too difficult. I was trying to find and master some of the most difficult trading strategies, while the simple escape method was available to me all along. My goal now is to help you replace your income with options. So let me explain how I will do that. So the problem was that option was too confusing for hardworking man or woman. I mean, it's too complicated. They also didn't know where to get started. They didn't even trust the process and they didn't know what they needed to become successful. I had to figure out a way where it was simple for the average person to understand, to unravel the mystery and make it known so that anyone can follow along. And so to do that, I had to build a simple system. And I came up with something I call the Freedom Income Engine. It had to have the following pieces. It had to be consistent. It had to have a high win rate. It had to be so easy that a child could follow along. And by the way, I always mention this that one of our members, his name's Max, after watching the video, he said, my 4-year-old niece could follow this, right? That's how simple. So when I saw that, I was like, that's a win, baby. If so and now Max said it was that his 4-year-old. I don't know if he actually did ask her, but he said it was so easy. It had to be fast and require minimal time since people have packed schedules. It had to have a growth component so that people didn't have a lot of money could participate. And finally, I had to make sure it would work in all market conditions. I got to work on the most ambitious project of my entire career, and I came up with the Freedom Income Engine. The Freedom Income Engine is built on 5 core pillars. Number one, a high win rate. Number two, risk control. Number three, weekly compounding approach with a simple, repeatable method. Number four, time. It had to be done in just an hour a week, no looking at charts all day. Five, it had to have a high growth component for people with smaller accounts that need to accelerate income replacement. To prove this works, I will show you real trade examples. So this is a perfect example of high probability trade we took together, and it's part of the consistent strategy our members use to get paid each week. So this is what we've done so far on our revenue on a $25,000 account. We're only a few days in May. So with the revenue that we've been getting, I'm expecting this to look pretty solid. But remember, this is only 25,000. That's our member account. And this is actually total. It's over a 20% gain since we launched in February, which is awesome. So imagine growing at this rate for an entire year. It actually equals doubling your account each year. And the best part, you don't need to be an expert. I have done the work, right? I've spent 30 years in the markets so that you don't have to, and I'm going to teach you the skills that you need. I've interviewed hundreds of the world's top traders on my How to Trade It podcast, including Tom Sosnoff, the world's leading options trader. He has taught so many people so much, and I've learned so much from him. I'm so thankful for his insight. I'm the author of The Complete Trading System. And during the course of my career, I've been searching for the best way to find income replacement. And I built this system after testing everything. This is what actually works. It's not about getting lucky. This system stacks the odds in your favor. This is the only system designed for long-term sustainable income, and soon I'll show you exactly how to use it for yourself. Let's talk about what this opportunity really means for you. This isn't about making a little extra money. This is about freedom. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your income isn't tied to a job. Imagine having more time for your family, being present with your kids instead of being stuck in a 9 to 5. Look, this is very powerful. Imagine traveling wherever you want, whenever you want, without worrying or asking about vacation days. Now, I just want to share about this. Like, I grew up spending time with my family, and I'm so thankful for that. And it was so important to me that I made sure that I was spending time with my kids. I blocked that time off on my schedule, and I would even make sure that my kids would be able to spend time with my parents. So I lived in Pennsylvania, and I would drive all the way across the country to the West Coast to visit my parents so my kids could spend time with their grandparents, right? So I would have to drive 4 or 5 days in a car there and then 4 or 5 days back. That's 10 days just in the car, then 2 weeks there. So it was about a 5 week vacation every single year when my kids were growing up. And me having the ability to do that was priceless, right? And that's one of the reasons why I gave you guys the system, why I created it, is because I want you to have the same opportunities. Wherever you're at in life, you need time with your and relationships with your loved ones. So imagine traveling whenever you want without worrying about vacation days or asking permission. Imagine unlimited upside, growing your account from a small balance to $1 million trading fund over time. And this is exactly what's possible when you understand how to consistently pull 1% per week from the markets. And the best part is that it's scalable. Once you master the system, you can go from making 500 per week to 5,000 per week to 50,000 per week. That's the power of compounding. That's the power of having a system that works. And this is exactly why most traders fail. They do not have a system. It's not just traders, though. It's people in life in general. Whatever is repeatable, you have to have a system. One of my mentors always taught me, and this is not a trading mentor, okay? But he taught me that we only have a little bit of energy in our life, and we must prioritize the things that are important with us. And one of the biggest things that I have found with my own traders, the people that I'm mentoring and teaching, is that they are having a hard time. Not all of them, but some of them have a hard time taking the trade each week. Even though it's just an hour a week, they're having a hard time. So what I'm teaching them is how to turn this into a system, because it's just the same reason why we say, oh, we're going to lose weight, we're going to start working out, we're going to start doing, I'm going to stop watching TV for 10 hours a day, I'm going to stop being on my phone. You might start out for a while, but it's building that habit, and it's changing, and the amount of energy that it takes to consistently do the thing that you want to do. And reason we fail a lot of times is because we don't have a good system. Okay. And that's one of the things that I built right into the program. So now, to be clear, this isn't a get rich quick. It's going to take some time to realize this. But again, we're not going for $1 million anymore. I'm going for just enough to replace your income. That's the key. Whether you're in retirement and you need to replace $1,000 a week, or whether you have a high profile job and you need to replace $10,000 a week, we're going to make that happen for you. But once you get compounding to start working, you will see the power. And most traders fail, and it's not because they aren't trying. It's because they're making one of four major mistakes. I already talked about this one: lack of a system. They trade on emotions, guessing, or chasing the next hot tip. They don't have a structured, repeatable process for making money. And mistake number two: lack of knowledge. They don't know which stocks to trade, they don't know which strategies work, and they don't know how to manage risk properly. Mistake number three: money wisdom. They believe they need a huge account to make serious money. They take big, risky trades hoping for one big win. They end up blowing their accounts before they even get started. And then mistake number four: making avoidable mistakes, over trading, holding losers too long, getting shaken out of good trades. Sound familiar? I know because I made every single one of these mistakes myself until I finally discovered the one insight that changed everything. I was trading and doing well. When I first started trading, I thought I needed to hit huge home runs to make serious money. I was chasing big wins, but I had no system. Some days I made money, some days I lost it all back. It was stressful, inconsistent, and exhausting. I kept thinking there has to be a better way. I spent years testing different strategies. I studied the best traders in the world, and I interviewed hundreds of top market experts. And that's when I had the breakthrough. I took ownership, I got to work and stopped blaming everyone else. I realized that consistency beats everything. It's not about getting rich overnight, it's about stacking small, high probability wins every single week. And when I started targeting 1% per week instead of home runs, everything changed. I was finally making the money without the stress. I learned I could go and grow my account without crazy risk. Imagine that. You don't have to hit a home run. And over time, that 1% turned into real financial freedom. And again, that's why I built the Freedom Income Engine. And it's built around this one simple truth. And this is probably my favorite slide, and that's this: high probability trades executed consistently create sustainable income. And you know what? We could take this into a formula and we just put it and we'll say equals freedom, right? This is actual freedom. That's what we're building. Again, small, high probability trades executed consistently create sustainable income. The mistake that most traders make, they go for big wins and take unnecessary risks. I'm trying to help as many people as I can avoid this. The traders who actually succeed, they focus on small, repeatable, consistent gains. That's why my system is designed to target 1% per week. Here's how it works. We trade high probability trades. We only target a small portion of our account on each trade. We use proven adjustments to protect our trades. And when you follow this system, you can grow a small account into life-changing income. Let me show you. All right. This is a chart here. Now, remember, our goal is not to grow here. We're not trying to grow into millions. We can do that, but that's not our goal. Our target is simply weekly income. That's it. It's weekly income. That's what we're focused on. So, what we know is if you have 10% and you want to make $1,000 a week, right? Well, if you want to make $1,000 a week, you need to have 100K, all right, with our system. Now, what that means for me is that here, it's hard to see right here, but this is the 100K. We'll probably be there in about 4.5 years. And that we have systems that speed this up as well. But this is just standalone, about 4.5 years. So if you are currently in a situation that you don't like, you could replace your income in as little as 4.5 years. And some people do it even quicker, especially people that are replacing their retirement income. They may have an account or retirement account of some kind, but they're not utilizing it. Those people can replace their income even quicker. But depending on how much you need per week, what you're starting at, what you're adding to the account, these are all variables that change this, but it doesn't matter because I give each person their own roadmap, right? I give them their own strategy, their own roadmap to help them come up with a plan that will help them replace their income. So this isn't a one-time lucky trade. This is what we do every single week. Imagine compounding those small weeks, those small gains week after week. That's how you go from making an extra 500 a week to replacing your paycheck to building $1 million account. And that's exactly what I'm going to do inside the Freedom Income Engine. Now, this is the fun part, right? I love doing this. Let's make this real for each person here. Uh, each person needs a different amount to replace their paycheck. Okay. So what is your number? I call this the replace your number. I also coined this the freedom number. What is your number, right? Um, what's the amount that you need? to achieve your number. Now, I will say this for me, mine is $10,000. I need 10,000. One thing you may or may not know about me is that I have 9 kids, so that's a little expensive. I don't live like a luxurious lifestyle, but you know what? In today's world, having a lot of kids, especially when they get older, is a little bit pricey. So that's what I need. But think about this. What is your number? All right, let me know in the chat. I'm really curious to see what we're at. So whether you're retired, okay, whether you're retired, whether you're working a job, whether you're a professional, whoever you are, you guys have a different number. So think about this. Like, just think about, okay, what am I currently making? What is my income that I'm making? And you could even throw in, whatever it is, but what are you currently making and what would it be? Right? So just let me know in the chat because I'm curious just to see where we're at. All right. So, anyways, okay, good. Thank you so much. Um, let's keep going. So, if you're still thinking, maybe I'll figure this out later, let me give you a reality check. Tariffs are crushing the economy. The 9 to 5 job market is less secure than ever. People are losing jobs. Salaries aren't keeping up with inflation, and relying on a paycheck is riskier than ever. Big institutions are dominating the markets, and if you don't have a system, you're just giving them your money. If you keep doing what you're doing right now, you'll keep getting the same results. And the key to doing that, understanding the Freedom Income Engine. Let me show you how this system changes everything. The Freedom Income Engine is built on a proven repeatable process. This isn't a guessing game. Every trade we take is on repeatable setups. It's the same weekly pattern we scan for, just like you asked for, just like I showed you earlier, right? Now, let's put this all together. But right now, you've seen the biggest mistakes and how to avoid them. You've seen the system. You've seen live trade examples that demonstrate the power of this strategy. You know about your freedom number. You know about what we've done so far. So now you have a choice. You can keep struggling, quicksand, and hoping for different results, or you can follow a proven, repeatable system that generates consistent income. Now, if you're serious about replacing your paycheck with trading, let me show you how to get started. So, I want to introduce the Freedom Income Engine. This is the only program designed to help you consistently target 1% per week and replace your paycheck with options trading. Everything you need to execute the 1% weekly income strategy with confidence. So, we have a course that I developed. It's called the Freedom Income Engine course. It's valued at $2,500. Now, this course has 12 in-depth video lessons covering the exact strategy to generate consistent 1% weekly returns. This has everything you need, and I've made it. When I say in-depth, it's not long and it's not difficult. It's simple, it's easy. Most traders finish this right away, but it's valuable, right? And they come back to it over and over again. And I'm always updating it. You also get access to an exclusive members only trading group, which has a $1,000 value. Join a private trading community of action takers. Get direct support from experienced traders. Share trade ideas, get feedback, and stay accountable. You also get step-by-step trade breakdowns and models. Like every time we do a trade, we review it, we show you what's happening. I explain why the trade is taken. I will go through questions. As a matter of fact, I'll show you after this is done one of the questions that one of the members asked me today. And wow, I got some really good stuff coming for you guys, so just stick around. But anyways, you get to gain confidence by studying historical performance and real trade case studies. We also have proven templates, checklists, trade log sheet valued at $500. And I also want to throw in here, it's a roadmap. Everybody gets a roadmap, right? Everybody gets a roadmap where they know where they're going to be replacing their income with. So, all of this combined, the complete Freedom Income Engine course valued at 2,500, the exclusive members only group 1,000, the templates checklist trade log heat, not heat sheet. All of that is a $500 value. The trade breakdown's a $750 value, and then you get the roadmap, which I'm just don't mind my scribble because I'm terrible. The roadmap to me is priceless. You get the roadmap. And I got a bonus I'm going to share here in a second. But anyways, all of this valued at 4,750. So today's price is just $1,000. You get instant access and start trading with confidence. Yes. However, before we drop the link, I want to tell you about our bonus. Okay? The exclusive bonus is the profit stacking blueprint. Now, this is an exclusive trade signal add-on to the income engine, designed specifically for traders with smaller accounts who want to compound their gains efficiently. This is what I talked about earlier when I was saying, oh, we're going to try to grow your account a little faster. That's where this component comes in, and I threw it in as a bonus. And again, it's not a lot of extra work. It's one trade every Thursday, takes an additional 15 minutes, simple and easy to follow. It has a high win rate of 87% over the last 10 years. As a matter of fact, in our members area, we've won 8 of these in a row. And so here's the back test. It's a little crazy, but from 10K to over 10 million, a little nuts, but it is what it is, and it's just really doing well. So it's strategically optimized to grow small accounts faster. So this is your chance to stack profits with a proven system while also learning the 1% weekly strategy. Now, I wanted to show you something here about that. Because I actually have some stats here. One of my members was telling me, I asked him how he's doing, and he said, right here, he said, especially with the debit spreads, that is I said, you still making, because I check in with my people, you still making weekly income? He said, yes, sir, I am, specifically with the debit spreads. And so he's sharing some of his trades. That's the profit stacking blueprint. He's crushing the profit stacking blueprint. And even in our main members area, people are like, yes, it's fire. We're filled. We're filled. The market's on fire. Look, and I shared yesterday, I said, look, we're crushing it. We're crushing it. So it's been really good. Okay, and then this is me answering some questions, and he said, thanks for the clarification. So it was really helpful. But anyways, keep on rolling, buddy. So this is your chance to stack profits 1% weekly. You don't need a $25,000 account. That's why I created the profit stacking blueprint. So again, that was a bonus. The complete freedom income course that valued at $2,500 value. The exclusive members only at $1,000 value. The $500 value on the checklist. The $750 value on the breakdowns, and then the profit stacking blueprint. Don't forget also you get a roadmap of weekly income replacement and another bonus that don't have a slide for, but that's a call. You get a phone call with me, which, I value my one-on-one sessions. I put those at $2,000 an hour. I know that's crazy, but if I can teach you to make $1 million a year, $2,000 an hour is worth it. I do a free 30-minute session with you to help you with your plan. So that's a bonus, okay? So all of that now is valued more than 7,250. Think about the income that you could replace there. That's how you justify the price, is like, okay, I could be the point where I'm making 10K a week. Is 7,250 worth it? The answer is yes. So the price for everything, including the bonus, is $1,000, but you're not going to pay $1,000 today. Here's why. I am just starting out with Freedom Options Income's option, and I need some referrals. So I'm asking you a little favor. If I teach you to replace your income and you're successful, would you be willing to refer 3 friends and family members if I give you this massive discount? Let me know in the chat. Now, of course, this is only if you're wildly successful, if I know, like I know you will be, and it's only for people that are interested in options. A lot of people are like, "Oh, options, I'm scared." No, leave it alone. You're a fool. Don't force it on people, but I do know that when people come back and they replace their income, they're so excited. They try to share it with everybody. But anyways, I'm getting a lot of answers here, so that's great. Um, but so today, the limited time beta group offer is only $200 today, and that is Freedom Income Options slash pricing. I think I'll try to drop that in the chat here if I can figure out how to do it. Okay, there I dropped it in the chat. So just go ahead and sign up. We'd love to get to know you, love to have you in the members area. So click the link and I'll see you inside. You'll get immediate access to trade signals, strategy videos, and the community. The course will be released weekly to give you time to slowly take it all in. And actually, I changed that because I just put it all out there. Um, so the price will include increases to $1,000 soon, and that slide's not valid. But you also get a risk-free 30-day guarantee with one-on-one support, and that really means I want to talk to you, right? I want to find out your situation. I want to know what's going on. Like some people are, I don't need to help a lot, but some people I need to help a lot, and I don't mind it, right? Some people are like, oh, they can't use the platform, they don't know how to trade, there's just a lot of different things. And that's okay with me because I'm focused this program not for traders. Like traders, this isn't for traders. I mean, it is for traders, but no traders. I'm looking for regular folks, regular people that want to replace their income, regular people like you and me. I don't look at myself as a trader. I look at myself as a regular person, and I want to replace income for regular people like you and me. So just click the link, enroll now, and start trading with confidence. You're going to get live coaching so that you're never alone. And so I'm going to have a couple questions, and then I will go ahead and hit a few more questions. But I'm going to go through all this first. How much experience do you need? It's great for beginners and experts. You know what? If you're an expert, you probably need this. If you're a beginner, you really need it. But I've seen more success with the beginners, and one of the beginners told me, he says, because the beginners don't have all the bad habits. But if you're a beginner, you definitely want to get in here. If you're an expert, you definitely want to get in. How long will I have access? Well, you have lifetime access. That's the other thing. Huge right there. How much capital do I need? Well, I recommend starting with $5,000 or more. However, I started with just $50, and you can start with as little as 50 to 100, but you're going to have to add weekly, which I recommend probably anyone below 50,000 should probably add anyways, just because they want to accelerate their income replacement. But with 5,000, you'll be seeing the fruit instantly. All right. So what if I don't see results? Well, there's 30-day guarantee with one-on-one support. How much time do I need? It takes about an hour a week. All right. 1% doesn't seem like much. That was my big thing, guys. That was my thing. Oh, 1%, 1%. It's no good. Well, I was always trying to do home runs. I'm like, how do I double my account in a day? But it adds up quickly, guys. I learned this lesson way too long. All right. So again, take control of your financial future today. freedomincomeoptions.com/pricing. An exclusive trading community for traders just like you. This is your chance to break free from financial stress. Some of you mentioned that you want a reliable strategy that works even in bear markets. Others wanted 25 without, or how to income without a 25K account. That's why we did this. That's why we threw our bonus out there. That's why we do all we do. So just click the link to get started right now. And this opportunity won't be available forever. So thanks everyone for participating. I'm going to hit up some questions and share a couple other things here. One of the things that I wanted to share was that I just got a notification that one of my trades is up big right now. So I thought I would share that. Um, and I mean, I'm making great revenue. And actually, I can't take 100% credit for this trade. Oh man, I'm up nice today. I can't take credit for all of these, but um, you know, because the reason why is because my members actually helped. One of the guys in the members said, "I really see an awesome trade, and I didn't even know about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, tell me." And it was like, "Whoa!" It was so big, but I made a ton of money on this one here. Let me share the chart right here. Oh wow, look at this bad boy. So here we go. It's up nicely. Um, right here. Is this, oh, wrong. That's the wrong chart. That's the cues. That's up nicely too. So here we go. Right here, I'm up. I got in on my put right here, and today we're up really, really good on it. What's the 5% on the day? 5% on the day on this trade. So really solid. All right. So that's that. Let me see if you guys have any questions here. Can you show a trade example? Yeah, okay, that's actually what I'm doing. So let me show you how we do it here. Um, so that was a good question. A very good question. Okay, so I have this trade. This was the actual trade. Okay. And I'm going to pull up the options. Okay, so right here is the option. All right. Now, what I want you to see here is that this is a right here, this is 10 option trumps on MSTU. So that is, I sold a put right here. Now you're going to see that it says minus 10. So remember I said that you sold. So I get paid for selling this. And I sold 10 contracts, but the amount that I got, I think was around 60 cents. Okay. So I did it on Monday and I made, which was yesterday, 60 cents is what I sold this for. Well, now it's trading at 35. So it's gone down from 60 to 35. So what does that mean? That means I'm already up 50% on the trade. Now, the stock you saw earlier went up 5% right there. Look, it's up 5% today, but I've made 50% on my trade, right? And that's because I sold the option. So on a 5% move on the stock, I made 50%. If it goes up again tomorrow, I'll probably get 90 some percent of this trade. And so we just do this once a week. And sometimes I'll close early and take another one, but a lot of times I'll just let it expire and I'll keep all the premium. Now, the cool thing about this is that should this drop, so if this stays above 950, I get to keep all the money. But if it drops, I get to keep all the money, but I do have to buy these shares at 950. But again, that's why I said I am so excited to buy these shares because I think that these things are going to be insanely profitable. Let's look at this chart here. Like this chart on this stock was $31. I would love to buy this at 9 because I think it's going higher than 31. So if I get this if I buy 100 shares, well, 10 contracts is actually 1,000 shares. If I buy 1,000 shares of this and it goes up 30 to $31, I'm making 31,000. Now, that's not the point of this program. The point of this program is to make 1% a week, but sometimes we find trades like this that we make $30,000 in bonus cash, right? And so I call that bonus cash, and that's kind of fun and cool. Um, and so, uh, that's how that works. I'm really glad that you asked that question. I wanted to kind of show you guys some of the reviews that we just got on Trustpilot. This is my one of our people. He just said, very happy. Casey gives you a solid plan and a goal, right? Exactly what I said, to tailor to your own situation. but also screeners with stocks consider a wider range of account sizes. He also answers questions or comments promptly. And so I replied, I said, Brian, thanks so much. And I hope that you'll be able to learn this and pass on to your kids, as he shared with me. Brian's a retired man, and um, he's from Canada, and he wanted to learn this so that he could teach his children so that they could continue to do it when he is no longer with them. So I just thought that was awesome. Brian's learning a skill so that he can teach others. That's really awesome. And then Max said, this is one of the best investments I've made. That's saying a lot. It gives you access to a nice community, a very detailed course. In a week, I've repaid my subscription. Totally worth it. So that's kind of some of the stuff we're talking about here. And let me see if you guys have any other questions, let me know. But Cliff, thank you so much. Um, and P. Crumley wants to know if he pays, does he have to do a referral? No, you don't have to. I mean, I'm trying to build a really solid referral thing here because it's just everyone that does it is becoming successful. And so I want people to do referrals, but if you don't want to and that's out of your comfort zone, that's fine. But I recommend you guys just go ahead and sign up. I'll go ahead and show another trade. I'll post that link in the chat again. But oh, David did anyways. Thanks, David. I'm going to show you guys another trade I did. Um, I did TSLL. Did you guys actually? You guys saw TSLL. You did. Oh, this one, guys. Oh man, this one. I did this one for my kids, and my kids absolutely. Oh, my kids, man. Okay, so I got to tell you this. My kids. You're welcome. My kids were like, Dad, you got to give me a trade. So this is my 17-year-old son and my 14-year-old son. And also my wife is in on it. So they didn't have their own account. So I opened up an account in my wife's name. And then I told them, I said, you guys got to get this trade. This is NVDX. So my kids got in down here at $6.50. And now it's trading at $10. Okay, and they are loving me. So we've been selling options on this. This is huge premium. What a great trade because I'm like, look, guys, this is going to go back up to 20. And so if my kids put all their own money in it. I didn't pay for them to do this. They put their own money in it. If this goes up to 20, my kids are going to have about $15,000. And for 14 years old, they're probably going to do something a little silly, but at least they learned a valuable lesson, right? And that's kind of the thing is I mean, they could go out and buy a car, who knows, but it's kind of cool. All right. Well, let's make sure there's no more other questions, but that's a really solid trade. What else did we do? Oh, this is another one. This one, we've been really trading a lot. SoFi, and we like to look at lower dollar trades because a lot of our members don't have big money. If you have big money, it costs a little more. You can, you might want to do something like Amazon or Google or whatever, but we're looking for the low dollar ones. SoFi, we've been crushing it with SoFi. We've been selling this options on this one like crazy, and it just makes money week in and week out. We sell an option. 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 And then this week, right now, it's trading at 1438. So really good stuff. Uh, I'm going to go ahead and just say I would be really honored and excited to work with you. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But other than that, I'm going to pass it off to David. And I want to again thank David for the opportunity. Really appreciate um, the opportunity, David. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, everybody. And I hope you guys are doing great with your income replacement.